Hi guys, welcome back to another session of Beginner-Techies. In this session, we will discuss about the integration of the most trending AI chatbot, which is known as ChatGPT, right? So we will do the integration of ChatGPT with Spring Boot. So let us walk through the steps to integrate ChatGPT with Spring Boot project, right? So here we have integration outline. So first we have to set up a Spring Boot project, and then next point, we have to find out the required dependencies to integrate ChatGPT with Spring Boot project. And the third one is we will create a controller class for handling chat request. Okay. And the fourth point is discuss the common integration approaches. All right. So first we have to create a Spring Boot project. So we can simply create a Spring Boot project from start.spring.io. Here I have selected the Gradle project and the language is Java. I'm using JDK 11 so that I have chosen the Spring Boot version 2.7. If I'm going through this 3 plus version, then the minimum baseline of JDK is 17 we have to use. But in my case, I'm just using Java 11. So that I have chosen this 2.7. If you guys are going through this 3 plus version, then you have to make sure you have JDK 17 should be installed in your system. Okay, so I'm going through JDK 11. Here I have given the necessary information: group name, artifact, ChatGPT integration, the name of application, and here the description. This is the package name, right? So once we click this generate part, we are able to create. If you are going that, we have to add the dependencies as well, and I just added the required dependencies. Like Spring Web I have added because I need to like create a controller. I need to add the REST API, so that for that purpose I just use this Spring Web. And I have taken this Spring Boot DevTools as well because of this. Like this will provides fast application restart, live reload, and configuration for enhanced development experience. So if you required any other dependencies, we can simply get from here itself, right? So once we click on this generate button, we will be able to get the zip file in our system. Here I have already integrated a project in my Eclipse. So let us walk through this Spring Boot project. Here we have this main class, right? ChatGPT integration application. This is the application we have, and the resource packages, right? Application.properties file, build.gradle file. So here we have to add the dependency. Initially we added these two dependencies, right? These two dependencies we have added. So we will discuss about the dependencies which is required to integrate ChatGPT, right? So we are done with first part. Let us discuss about the dependency which is required to integrate ChatGPT. So the second part is we have to find out the dependencies which is required to integrate ChatGPT with Spring Boot. Okay, so for that we have to visit the official documentation of ChatGPT. So we have documentation of ChatGPT over here. We have to check this libraries part. We have Python library here. We have to look for Java libraries, right? So here we have Java library, OpenAI-Java. Okay, so before selecting this OpenAI-Java library, here we have some instructions. Please note that OpenAI doesn't verify the correctness or security of these projects. Use them at your own risk. This is the disadvantage. Anyway, so we have to like this is like provided by the official website of OpenAI. So we can somehow we can believe. Okay. So okay, let's visit this OpenAI-Java. Right. So here we have this GitHub project, right? OpenAI-Java. Java libraries for using OpenAI's GPT APIs support GPT-3, ChatGPT, and GPT-4. Right. So these libraries will support these models: GPT-3, ChatGPT, and GPT-4. And there are three artifacts. One is API, and the second artifact is client, and third one is services. So these are the APIs which are being supported. Okay, and engines are deprecated. So here we have this Maven library. We can use this Gradle because we have created our Spring Boot project in Gradle, right? All right. So yeah, so we have three way, like either we can go with API, or we can go with client, or we can go with service. So one of them we can choose for our integrations. Okay, so I will prefer service, because here if you see, if you are looking for the fastest solution, import the service module and use OpenAI service. So I would prefer this OpenAI. Okay, all right. So first we have to add this dependency in our Spring Boot project. Okay, so let me just search this dependency. Okay, we have to visit Maven repository, and here we have these three dependencies, right? Service, API, and client. I would prefer service. All right, so here we have different versions of service dependencies, right? So for this 12.0 have 7 usage, and which is added on 1st April 2023, and this is on 20th June 23. So let us go with latest dependencies. Okay. All right, so let's copy this dependency first. Okay, and we have to update over here. Okay, so this one we have chosen service, and the version is 14.0. So let me build this application, refresh, Gradle refresh. All right, so we are able to added the dependency into our project, right? So now we can leverage the advantage of this dependency into our project. Means we can simply use the APIs of ChatGPT through this project. So we have added this dependency, right? This one. Okay, with the help of this dependency we will be able to use the GPT-3 API, ChatGPT, and GPT-4 API. Okay, so here in this documentation page, the APIs are listed already. Here we can see these APIs endpoint, right? V1 completions, V1 chat completions, V1 edits. Similar way we have these endpoints, chat application, and the model name. Like if you are using this API, this endpoint, then these are the supported model. Like if you're going with the implementation part, then we have to add these models. Means like which model we are going through. Yeah, so if we are going to use this API, then we have to choose these models, right? We have to specify the model name as well into the REST API. Okay, here this V1 completions. So if we check this, here the model is text DaVinci 003, text DaVinci 002, text query, text adder 001. So these are the model for completions. For chat completion, we have these models. So all right, so first we have to create one controller package. So package here dot controller. Okay, and here we will create one class. Here we will create one class, chat GPT controller. I will use this annotation at the REST controller to utilize this class as a. Okay, now I'm just creating one method over here, and the return type of this method is a string. So chat get messages, get prompt simply. Okay, so the return type of this is null as of now. Okay, So here I'm just using this get mapping. Okay, so here we can specify the endpoint. Okay, get that. Okay, fine. And here we need to add one variable. Let me make it as prompt, and this should be a path variable. Prompt, right? So here I'm going to use v1/completion API, and the model is, we can use any model of this API. Text DaVinci, I believe. Let me check. These are the models. Simply keep here. Okay, just for reference purpose, right? Okay, so to use this model, let me visit this website. Here we have to use this OpenAI service, right? So here we have to create OpenAI service object, service, OpenAI, and here we have to pass this secret key. Here we have to pass the secret key. So we can get the secret key from here itself. Here, so we have to log in with our credential. Once we logged in, here we can see these options, the API keys. We have to click on that, and here we can generate secret key. I have already generated 2 secret key. We can simply generate here key 3, whatever name. If we click on this, we will get the secret key. So I don't need to create another secret key. I have already there. Okay, so I can use the same. So now we have to use this completion request plus completion request is equal to completion request dot builder. This is a builder prompt. So if we check this completion request, we have these data model, prompt, suffix, max tokens, and these are the data member, right? So we have to use as per our requirement. Here we have to pass the prompt. Okay, and we have to pass the model as well, right? So which model we are using, you can see. And now this echo equal to dot get. Okay. So this is the completion request. With this service, open service dot, we have to use create completion. This is our request pass. So if we check this create completion, so here this is actually, this API is being called v1 application, this one, right? So this API is being called, right? So let's return this create completion itself. Let's see what are the response we are getting from ChatGPT. Okay, return, fine. We need to remove this. And what is the return type of create completion? Completion result. This one we can use simply. Okay, control shift. Okay, we can simply hit the request through the browser itself, right? 8080. What is get that? This is the API endpoint, and we can pass the prompt here. So before passing the prompt over here, we can, let me check here, we did not pass the model. So let me add the model. The model is text DaVinci 003. I'm using this. Here I have added the model. Okay, so the application is already started. What happened? Oh, so I did not provide any API key. So first I have to provide API. Okay, fine. So the API key is here. Right. So this is the API key music. All right. So let me save it. Application restarted. Let me hit again. Right. So here we got the prompt, right? So this is the response coming from ChatGPT. The model is text DaVinci 003. Choices is text. Hi guys, I'm removing my existing Windows 7 and installing Windows. Okay, so this is the prompt we are getting from the ChatGPT, right? So let me put some other message. How are you? Yeah, so here we can see the response from the ChatGPT. So how are you? I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. How about you? Right. So since we don't require all these fields, we just need the messages, right? So we can simply return the messages itself here. Keep this return services dot get devices dot get 0, one index only, get text. Let me check here. Yeah, so this is text, right? We can simply return the text. This should be string, right? Right. So let me read it again. Okay, so now we are getting only messages. We have ignored another fields from the ChatGPT response. We are just getting this, how are you? I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. This is the response we are getting from ChatGPT. We have used this model text DaVinci 003. So we can check the another model, right? Now we are going to use another model, the latest model like GPT-3, ChatGPT, etc. So for that, I'm just creating another endpoint, public string. So I can just copy the same endpoint, same code over here, and created another endpoint. This should be post. Okay. If I check this libraries, so here we have this v1 chat completions. We have to use this v1 chat completions. Okay, v1 chat completions, and the models are, these are the models, right? We can use, these are the models we can use. Okay, right. So we can use one of the model from this, right? So for that we have to change this chat, because this model will support this chat completion request. This will support this, right? So this model will support chat completion request. Plus here if you see, there are like model list of chat messages, temperatures, top integers, how many chat completion choices to generate for each input messages. So these are the data member we have with chat completion. Okay, so we need to change this one as well. Sorry, control set chat completion. This should be chat completion, right? And this prompt will be removed. Okay, this prompt will be removed. So we need to check here what we have. We have messages. Okay, so we can use messages. So here we have to pass the list of messages we have to pass, and the model name we have to. Okay, so messages will support the list of chat messages, right? Here if you see, so list of chat messages, right? So for that reason we have to make this as a post mapping. Okay, and here the endpoint I'm just using chat, fine. And here we have to make request body, and this should be, let me just make it as chat message prompt. Okay, chat message prompt, right? So we have to create this chat message prompt. This will be created in, let me create another package over here, DTO, DTO, this DTO. In this DTO I'm just creating DTO. All right, so this class is created. In this class we have to add that chat stuff, chat message, chat, chat. Let me make it as private, and let me generate get answer. I have generated get answer as well. So this prompt we can simply use prompt dot get chat message, right? Right. So we have to change this model as well. Text Vinci can use. Let me use this. I'm using this model, and this is not required. Not okay. Right. All right. So here we have to change this service as well. Create chat completion. We check this. Right. So here we have this API. This API given slash chat completion. Okay. So this API will be called in this flow. Right. So here we need to change this as content get. This should be as get message dot get content. The return. We can change this. Let me just make it get chat. Right. I will use Postman to hit this endpoint. Okay. So here first I'll copy this. Okay, this is not required, and the endpoint is what? Endpoint is that only. So let me just make it as that, and the method is post, right? And here in the body, we have this JSON. So here we have to create our JSON, and if you check the request, so here we have this request chat message prompt. Here chat message, the key. So we have to make this chat message, right? And this should be right. So here in the list we have to pass the object. Let me check this chat message. Here we have to pass what? Role and content, or else role, content and name. These three parameter we can pass, right? So here first we have to can simply add role. Role is user. We pass the user. And what is yeah, so this one is content. And content, in the content we can simply call hi, how are you, right? Yeah, so I think this is fine. Let me just hit this API. Right, so we are able to get the response from the ChatGPT. Right? Hello, I'm an AI assistant, so I don't have questions, but I'm here to help you. How can I assist today? Sure. Can you write a factorial program in Java here, right? So here we have got the response from ChatGPT. Certainly here is a Java code snippet to calculate the factorial of a given number using recursion. So this is the recursion solution, right? So here we can see it. The solution is correct, seems, right? Yeah, it is correct. So this program will calculate the factorial of the number 5. You can change the value of number variable to calculate the factorial. So now we got the response from the ChatGPT. So let me just change a little bit. Okay, so I need iterative code, not the recursive. Okay, let's see. Right. So so here iterative code is a programming approach where a loop is used to repeatedly execute a set of statements until a specific condition is met, unlike recursive code that calls itself. So yeah, here we got the response from the ChatGPT. Right here the example, but the example is in Python. Okay, so but the Python we need in Java. Please give me in Java. So the result was in Python. Let me get it in Java. Right. So here in the Java, what? So here's example of simple. Okay, so I think he missed the previous prompt. So let me just tell him, please give me factorial code in Java, and that should be iterative. Okay, send it. Right. So here we can get the we got the iterative example, right, for factorial. Similar way we can do like whatever the like our queries and prompt we can send to the ChatGPT. So we will get the response based on that, right? So this way we can integrate the ChatGPT with the Java based application, especially with the Spring Boot, right? So we can leverage the advantage of this this dependency in our Spring Boot project, and we can experience the we can enable the chatbot in Spring Boot project with the help of this dependency, right? So with ChatGPT we can create chatbots, virtual assistant that can have engaging and realistic conversation with users, right? And it can understand questions, provide informations, and even hold interactive dialogues, like having a smart AI powered conversation partner, right? So yeah, there are so many advantages, right? So this is just a way to integrate to leverage the advantage of ChatGPT in Java based application. So this technology has many practical applications such as customer support, virtual tutoring, or even just have fun chat experience, right? So here we have implemented two different endpoints, right? And we have experienced the uh, response of two different models of ChatGPT, right? So there are several models, right? So we can and the all are free except GPT-4 versions. So GPT-4 is premium version. We cannot directly use. There might be some limitations. So like we have to pay for that if we are going to use GPT-4 model, right? So with help of this dependency we can simply use the GPT-4 model. Okay, yeah. So even though if we don't have premium, right, so we can simply use the lower model of ChatGPT, right? So if you have any query and doubt, you can simply put your thoughts in the comment sections, right? If you like my contents, you can simply like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Bye bye. See you in the next video.